wà tó bá dẹ̀ tásìkò tí àgbàdo ò gbé ọmọ gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé òdòdó orí ẹ̀ tó ń sún yẹn tátẹ́gùn bá ti fẹ́ yóò fẹ́ powder ẹ̀ káàkiri orí ear tó wà ní stem yẹn tó bá ti fẹ́ lé lórí so a lè sọ bí tí ó ti fẹ́ atẹ́gùn powder wá sórí eléyìí.
Controlled environment.
Yeah. So ńgbà tá a bá harvest èrè wa a lè rí kó ní àwọn white kankan láàrin torí atẹ́gùn tó fẹ́ wá láti bò míì ni so tírù yẹn bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ kì í ṣe àwọn white yẹn nìkan àwọn white yẹn kàn jẹ́ white torí pé bóyá àwọn white wà láàrin tó bá yẹ pa bá láwọn àgbàdo yellow mi àbí orange mi náà lórí oko tí èṣe lè ó ṣe ń ṣe kó ti wà ń bẹ àmọ́ torí pé àwọn kọ́lọ̀ yẹn jọra wọn àwọ̀ yẹn jọra wọn à ní dá wọn mọ̀ so tá a bá wá ní pé ẹ mú ẹ tuntun gbìn tẹ wá mú bẹ tẹ gbìn lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ tẹ wá rí the same èrè oko is as a result of cross contamination. àmọ́ tẹ bá pé òun nìkan lẹ gbìn sí gbogbo oko fàpẹẹrẹ tẹ wá mú bẹ tẹ tún gbìn kò sí ṣòro.
Ìfẹ́ sọ fún wa ní ìfún pé tá a bá fẹ́ gbìn ká wá ra ìmí.
ìyàwó ìwà ta.
torí tẹ wí yẹn ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bá a bá ti ń gbé gbàdo kan ti pẹ́ tọ́jẹ́ yẹ́lò yẹn náà gbọ́ bá funfun máa tún pọ̀ nínú ẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹni tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé a ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí iléeṣẹ́ láti ta àgbàdo wọ́n tán bá fún wa lórí ẹ̀ bí a ti ta àgbàdo ni ẹ̀mí mi la fẹ́ tà fún.
gbogbo àwọn ètò wa ń pín ibo lẹ́nu kó lọ.
gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe ní yàrá ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa wípé iṣẹ́ ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ lórí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn nǹkan bá a ṣe ń gbìyànjú láti kí àwọn èròjà tára nílò àmọ́ tí ò lè produce sínú àgbàdo bẹ́ẹ̀ náà là ń gbìyànjú báwo la ṣe lè ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí tó yẹ pé kòkòrò tó ń dàgbàdo láàmú kò tún ní máa ṣe kí ni kò ní lè máa continue so oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ ìwádìí tẹ́ bá wo àwọn oko wọ̀nyí tẹ́ ń wo yàrá àwọn oko wa náà lè gba àwọn oko wọ̀nyí ó lè máa ṣe ẹ lè máa wò pé ṣèbí wọ́n sọ fún wa pé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni ọ̀tí ẹ̀ àwọn kan ga àwọn kan kúrú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni torí àwọn àgbàdo tẹ́ ń rí àgbàdo tó wà ń bẹ lónírúurú ó lé ní 1000 so èmi lè ga èmi lè kúrú àwa la mọ ìdí tí mi fi kúrú tí mi fi ga so iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ló ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí yẹn so báwa ṣe ń gbé wọn gorí ara wọn tá a fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìwádìí ó yàtọ̀ nígbà tá a bá lọ ilé iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe sìmẹ́ǹtì ní táwọn ní wọ́n ti ń da kíní pọ̀ mọ́ra wọn ibi tó ti ń pò pọ̀ nù tiwa nígbà bá dé ta láti rà.
Should cover that cover. Why you cover?
n ta gbégun àfẹ́ kí nǹkan mi gorí ẹ̀. ẹyẹ kọ́ a lè mú ọkùnrin àtobìnrin àmọ́ ìtọ́jú ọkùnrin àmọ́ ìtọ́jú obìnrin tá a bá gbé ìtọ́jú ọkùnrin tá a bá gbé gorí obìnrin a ní fẹ́ kí nǹkan mi kọkùnrin mi tún gun orí ẹ̀ mọ́ so a ń láti bò ó ká bọ̀ ó pé tó àmọ́ ń tá a gbé gorí ẹ̀ o ó dẹ̀ nídìí tá a dẹ̀ fi gbé gorí ẹ̀ a dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí nǹkan mi tún gorí ẹ̀ mọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ bò so ìdí tán ṣe wà báyìí nìyẹn.
ẹ tí wàá wá láǹfààní ìyẹn kọ.
ẹ̀yin àgbẹ̀ nínú ilé mi. rárá ẹyẹ kọ́ iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ló ń lọ lọ́wọ́ tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo wọn lọ báyìí gbogbo bí tẹ̀sí láwọn àgbàdo ẹ̀ rí i pé wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ so àwọn iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ló ń lọ lọ́wọ́.
àgbàdo olóṣù mélòó yìí.
Samas 52 yìí long duration variety ni láàrin between 110 sí 120 days ni 3 months lọ bí 4 months yẹn àwọn ní 3 months yẹn náà wà tó jẹ́rú òun náà.
ẹni mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀
pẹ̀lú bí ojú ọjọ́ ṣe rí nísìnyí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sá.
ṣé ẹ máa ràn á lọ láti máa produce tó máa jẹ́ short kìíní.
wọ́n wà dáadáa.
Gbogbo bàtà máa fún wa ní.
bí bá a sọ wípé àwa àyànfà láti ta àgbàdo.
ẹ bọ̀ láti lè rí i.
àwọn sí
tẹ̀rí tó tún wá tẹ̀rí ìmọ̀ apart from seed company things wọ́n pé.
English.
Okay, yeah.
I don't understand.
ẹni tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni wípé a fẹ́ ṣèṣe wípé bóyá à ń polówó ọjà fáwọn iléeṣẹ́ kan kó má dàbí ẹni pé àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ rí wa ní èrè torí wọ́n lè gbé wa lọ ilé ẹjọ́ wípé ẹ ti gbàbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ àwa àwọn kan wà lẹ́ ń polówó iléeṣẹ́ wọn àwa yòókù yẹn So èyí tèmi kan lè sọ
tọ́lẹ́ nìkan
Èmi-
béèrè lọ pé àwọn orí bíi tàgbàdo sí babalájé lèmi
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
àgbàdo tà lọ́jà mi kí wọ́n máa kó bọ̀.
ọ̀rọ̀ ti yanjú ẹ dákun ẹ bá ń gba nọ́mbà babalájé bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ bá ń gba nọ́mbà babalájé ẹ ń bá ti fẹ́ tàgbàdo.
mo mọ̀ pé hybrid seeds kò ṣeé tún gbìn but ní first time tí wọ́n plant ẹ̀ ṣó lè wà cross like
what
pé
do you mean?
mo gbìn hybrid seeds sórí oko yìí. So ṣé any other croply seed ṣó lè cross ẹ̀ but mo mọ̀ pé you can't replant it.
Imported,
but-
ṣé kìí ṣe imported hybrid then sọ yẹn.
No hybrid mate.
No, hybrid is hybrid.
But ṣé kò lè wà contaminated lórí field after tí mo ti gbìn pé bí a mo gbìn mi ò bí a question.
ẹ jẹ́ ká yànnàná kinní kan kó yẹra wa o ẹ dákun ẹ jẹ́ ká yànnàná kinní kan o tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ contamination lórí oko kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú yield tẹ́ máa rí àṣà àtìgbà tẹ́ bá kọ́kọ́ gbìn o
affect ẹ.
sọ̀rọ̀ mi yé so tí n bá gbìn if I plant a hybrid seed for example tí n bá gbìn hybrid lálákọ̀ọ́kọ́ lórí oko sọ̀rọ̀ mi yé tán bá sọ fún mi wípé 10 tons per hectare ni 12 tons per hectare ni tèmi náà rí kà lára páálí ibi tí wọ́n kọ information yẹn sí in tí mo expect nìyẹn tí n bá tiẹ̀ rí 12 tons per hectare yẹn okay
I don't think we have
Online, people online.
so if
Sitting in the training from other states.
if I have a maize seed potentially 10 tons per hectare 12 tons per hectare if I plant it I could get 12 tons per hectare. However, I may also not get 12 tons per hectare. It all depends on the management practices I put in. So, n ta máa ń lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, wọ́n máa ń kọ sára páálí àbí ṣàkàṣàkàṣàkà. Agbára tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sọ, n tó lè gbé fún wa nìyẹn. Báwa rí bá ní rí, whether you get it or not, ó wà lọ́wọ́ bẹ́yìn fúnra rẹ̀ bá ṣe ṣe àmójútó ẹ̀. So tí n bá gbìn sórí oko fàpẹẹrẹ tó jẹ́ wípé ibi tí mo gbìn sí ká sọ pé bá ṣe gbìn àgbàdo síbí I plant here and ọ̀rẹ́ mi náà he planted here a súnmọ́ra wa o oko wa kan yàtọ̀ ni o tó bá dé àsìkò tí flower bá ń jáde tó bá jẹ́ pé the same time we planted together when the flowers are out during flowering pollination will occur pollination náà ló ń fún wa ní àwọn tá à ń rí yìí and when the pollination occur tí pollination yẹn bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ torí wípé ìta ni wọ́n wà ìta gbangba a dẹ̀ lè control ẹ̀ because ọ̀tọ̀ ni àwa ń gbìn wọn nígbìn bá fẹ́ tà wọ́n ni so ipa wo ká wọn ẹ̀sìn bá mi when the wind blows and takes the male pollen to the female silk automatically pollination á ṣẹlẹ̀ a dẹ̀ lè mọ̀ we don't know pollen wo ló wá pollinate àwọn silk yẹn so nígbà tí pollination bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ intermarker lórí oko wa is exactly the management practices that we put forward now the problem arises tabawa ni I want to save the seed I now pick some seed mo kọ́ àwọn àgbàdo kan níbi pé torí pé ọmọ wọn ṣe bọ̀ọ̀kù mo ní okay I'm keeping this one for next year now tí contamination or cross breeding ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ṣe ń ṣe kí yé dìyẹn àmọ́ ká ní pé ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ́ni gbogbo bí tá a wà yìí tó jẹ́ pé àgbàdo mi fàpẹẹrẹ ká tún tó rí àgbàdo mi bóyá ẹnu gate ni ọ̀nà yẹn jìn at least kò ń ṣe lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ 500 meters. àmọ́ so nírú yẹn ọkàn balẹ̀ wípé gbogbo àgbàdo tó bá ti bí jáde àwọn poli ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ṣe kí ni they are the ones that pollinated it. So the problem arises from the second population or second planting rather.
All right.
Okay. Ẹ ṣeun.
Bá ṣe sọ pé
Practical o.
Sì, più ne fẹ́ gbà lọ sílẹ̀ náà.
Kọ́ ló máa celebration yẹn ṣe fún mi.
Now, I'm going to ask questions. Why 25 centimeter is in the plant? And if you are planting 25 centimeter, is one seed per hole. If it's 50 centimeter, it will be 2 seeds per hole. So let's just demonstrate how maybe parameter we do it on our field. We didn't come with a jab planter because it's not readily available. It's not what we can buy outside. Though there's this kind of fabricated one that I used to see from the north. Is a circle, you pour your seed inside, you just keep rolling, and you drop the seeds. It's calibrated with 25 to 50 centimeter. But let's just make use of the basic one we used to do around. So, like we said, okay, thank you. Like we said this place already has been calibrated for us for 75. Because we tend to make use of this kind of rake that goes straight down. And we said the advantage of planting a straight line is so that it's easier for you to enter, to do your weeding, to do your remolding. So I'm planting this way. I'm going straight down. It goes straight and it goes straight. All I just need to do is, if this is my first hole, and remember, it shouldn't be too deep. Like I saw in the conference room, tó bá jinju, or boya, okay, ẹ tún wo bí ilẹ̀ yìí ṣe rí, ó rọ̀ dáadáa. Tó bá jinju àǹbò or boya hard pan wà lórí ẹ̀, ó máa struggle láti jáde. Tó bá gbígbé ó wá force ara ó jáde o, ó lè ti rẹ̀. So vigor yẹn máa wà reduced. So kind of a sọ pé a fún ó wà okay báyìí. At most, inch ọwọ́ mi ìka kékeré mi kò ní kó jinju. Gbígbé ẹ fún ní freedom kó jáde. 5 cents, is it just something like this is okay. So kápẹ́ àti wà báyìí, wọ́n pé mo lo 1. Tí bá ní mo lo 1 seed per hole. And again, any láti ra seed láti from credible organization. If those people tell you on their paper, this seed is 98%, germination percentage is very high, 98%. Then also pé seed kan tẹ́ bá gbélẹ̀ ó máa jáde. So, but tẹ́ bá pé àwọn tí ẹ gbà lọ rà lórí ní ọjà, ó ti wà ní oòrùn. Grains tiẹ̀ ní actually oríṣiríṣi wà nú ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá ní pé ẹ gbìn, ó kọ̀ lè wà nú ẹ̀ ní 10 days, kíní yóò jáde, seed ò dání. But tẹ́ bá rà láti credible organization or the credible seed company, seed kan ó yẹ kó jáde. So ẹ pé ẹ gbìn 25, this is the first one. Second one can just be here. Even tẹ́ bá ní pé kẹ́ fẹ́ bò gan, kò ní kẹ́ gbàngbàng kẹ́ tẹ̀mọ́lẹ̀, no need.
Torí àparò làwọn fi máa ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà.
Àti kótókótó.
Okay.
Torí kótókótó.
Mo wá jẹ́ èmi rò pé bọ́ yẹ́sẹ̀ tí mo sín mi ò fẹ́ kó wù.
No. Nǹkan tá ń try àti ṣe ni pé kò ní kó force ara ẹ̀ jáde. Àkọ́fẹ́ kí ìyẹ̀pẹ̀ tó wà lórí ẹ̀ kó wà loose náà, pé tó wá fẹ́ jáde ìrọ̀rùn ló wá kàn fẹ́ jáde. Gọ̀dọ̀ fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀ bó tó wà lọ jinju àti jáde ó lè ẹ gbélé bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ẹ lọ gbé òkúta sí orí ẹ̀ ẹ tẹ́ pa. So okay, this is 25, this is another 25. A lè máa gbin lọ báyìí. Ó ṣọ̀fún ó dá mi lójú pé in 3-4 days ẹ máa rí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló sì kọ́ abẹ́rẹ́. Tàbádà lọ pé ká try ní 50 centimeter. 1, 2. Eléyìí, this is under 25. But láti ìgbà yìí, mo lè jump báyìí.
So ẹ ti nílé báyìí 25 ilé 50. Okay sir.
Bí ẹ ṣe ń gbin kínní yẹn, ó rà pé ojú báwa bá fẹ́ sọ, àná ojú àpòrò lẹ́ ń gbìn sí.
On the ridge. Nítorí pé tá a bá fẹ́ weed agbè sínú báyìí, tá a bá fẹ́ weed ẹ̀wọ̀ tá a bá fẹ́ add fertilizer, tá a bá ní gbé agbé fertilizer sí báyìí a kàn máa bu yẹ̀pẹ̀ sórí ẹ̀. Instead of tá a bá ní ká gbìn sí báyìí ibo la fẹ́ rí yẹ̀pẹ̀ tá a fẹ́ bu sórí ẹ̀. Ànígé òkè tójò kékeré bá rọ̀ ó bẹ́tà kó rọ̀ sí báyìí omi máa ṣẹ́tù síbẹ̀. So ó bẹ́tà.
That implies that it's
Then
advisable.
tí òjò bá rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì léra àgbàdo ṣé kò ní rà.
kò ní rà.
Ó dẹ̀ rà.
Kò ní rà. Kò ní rà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé soil yìí loamy soil ó wà loose omi ti kúrò. But kò ń ṣe àwọn clay soil jẹ́ pé ó máa ń dá omi ó máa ń hold water. No.
Not hold water.
But okay, like soil like this now, òjò rọ̀ first one, ó rọ̀ second one. Ẹ lè wá lọ́sàn-án gan. Okay, ilé tó rọ̀ lánàá báyìí, àárín kankan. Gbogbo ẹ ti loose. So ó bẹ́tà báyìí. But akọ̀rin omi ti kúrò ńbẹ̀.
Machine ló bá yín drill ilé bàbá. So kì í ṣe bọ́ọ̀lù
Ló lè ṣe báyìí. No, okay, actually, ẹ ká mọ̀ pé tá a bá fẹ́ gbin oko, okay, apart from pé ẹ ń gbin lórí straight line, ẹ fi fertilizer sí ẹ̀gbẹ̀gbẹ́. Tẹ́ bá máa weed, ó bẹ́tà kẹ́ weed sórí ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ máa bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ weed in 2 weeks or 3 weeks after planting, ẹ weed ṣe díẹ̀. Ìyẹn máa add as mulch. A jẹ́ kó retain omi. Lágbẹ́rẹ́ ò ní gbẹ. So tá a bá gbin nǹkan báyìí, on 1 hectare, you should get 53,000 plant stands. Ìyẹn ni adequate one lórí oko. So tá a bá gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, tá a bá ti fẹ́ sọ pé okay, ẹ fẹ́ wo plus minus o, ẹ mú ẹ̀dẹ́ pé a sọ pé hybrid or OPV la fẹ́ gbìn. Tẹ́ bá mú kọ́ọ̀bù kan, kẹ́ ṣẹ́ẹ̀lì kọ́ọ̀bù kan, kẹ́ wí ẹ̀ times ẹ̀ by 53,000 plus minus. Tẹ́ bá tiẹ̀ sí lórí oko nígbà tó tẹ́ ń gbìn, ó yẹ kẹ́ lè mọ estimate nǹkan tẹ́ máa get. Exactly. Ìyẹn tẹ́ bá lo spacing yẹn ni o. Ìyẹn tẹ́ bá lo spacing yẹn ni. So
Éka náà sì jẹ́ éka.
téka náà sì jẹ́ éka or hectare jẹ́ éka. Hectare náà jẹ́ hectare.
Standard tó wà.
Tó jẹ́ accurate.
Ó ti tán. Lèyàn lè rí standard éka.
Well. So okay.
Regarding the application of fertilizer,
Yes.
how do we go about it?
I'm going to do that now. Yes, sir.
Sir, it's a
Him.
question
Okay, sir.
concerning the issue of application of fertilizer. If you are planting like this, like the dry season farming
Yes.
that we used to have a lot of rain, then if you plant inside the holes like this, and you are having a large farm like, for example, 5 acres of farm,
Okay.
you are
Dry season planting.
plant. You have intention of when you plant and you apply fertilizer, you will
Cover.
remote.
Okay.
Now, is it possible for somebody with 5 acres of land to remote?
It's just advisable, it's necessary and also important. If you cannot do it, well, fine. We are just trying to,
Sorry,
okay.
planting at a very deep area.
Mhm.
I don't think maize can survive in some terrain where rain may be falling like 2, 3, 4 days in a week.
Like we said, the type of soil.
The water will lodge in every
In between.
available.
Okay, like the soil we are having here,
Yes.
water is not going to lodge.
If you
It
plant
should not
here,
retain,
if we plant
even
here,
though it's here. Okay, tabapo òjò
if
rọ̀.
we plant
Tójò bá rọ̀ ní àárọ̀ yìí.
plant here,
Tójò bá rọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Time tí a sọ pé a fẹ́ gbin oko sí ibà yìí, only during seedling stage. Because in the nearest future, ta fẹ́ remote. Tá bá gbin oko sí ibà yìí, in the next 2-3 weeks, ó ti ń jáde. A fẹ́ fún ní gbígbé alẹ́ bed kó soft kó fi jáde. tó bá ti jáde tán ẹ̀ ń rí mọ́dò ẹ̀ ń kó yẹ̀pẹ̀ bo kò kankan mọ́ ó ti jáde kó máa lọ tiẹ̀ ní.
I know. What
Okay.
I'm asking is, if it is a mechanized farming,
Yes.
like 5-10 acres of land, I do want to remote 10 acres of land.
Actually,
With the present sort of
labor.
labor in this.
Mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé kì í ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló lè ṣe nǹkan báyìí. Irú oko tèmi wọ́n plow 30 acre lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Àwọn ò drill this kind of thing.
No, like
You understand? So it's not everybody gan ló lè ṣe irú ihò tí a rí ń bì. Ibi ó fẹ́ pé àwọn ṣe fún wa pé bó ti yẹ kí nǹkan rí. But it's not necessarily
we will give you the optimum.
you can improvise.
You now know which one is best for you. Bí bá ṣe sọ pé okay, nǹkan tó wà tó this is the best thing for you to do. Not everybody can bear the cost of doing something like this. Not everybody can bear the cost of remolding. Even the weeding, not everybody can bear it. Even in every bag of seed company you collect, they will say you should use at least 10 bags of fertilizer. Not everybody can do 10 bags. Now, in the package of seed company, they say use 8 bags of NPK and use 2 bags of urea. Now, not everybody can do 8 bags of NPK. How much is NPK per bag? 37,000.
40 something.
And you're using urea too after. Not everybody can do it. But optimum, okay, now they're saying use the whole 10 bags for your 1 hectare and you get 10 tons. Now, in your own field, you can't use that 10 bags. Maybe at most you use your 4. You can't be expecting the 10 tons. Yes. They are giving, if you give it the optimum, you have the optimum. But if you can't give it the optimum, is what you give it, it will give back. It's as easy as that. So all these cultural practices that we are saying, it is best for the seed to be in this way. When it comes out, when you do your weeding, when you do your remolding, it gives its anchorage for the plant to stand. That is why we do that. But yes, in basic, our basic farmers and everything, we just plant on the ground, do the basic thing as at when due. It is not a problem. It's what fits your power, you will do. But we'll tell you the optimum, you do what according to the cost that you can do.
It's not how far, but how well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yes, sir.
One more question.
Okay.
With the present situation
Of the country.
shortage of land,
Yes.
can we do intercropping? What kind of
Yes.
crop can we?
I am a farmer. Intercropping is actually even very good for your crop itself, for your own income. Yes, for your crop, for your income, and from the fertility of your soil. Even in IITA, we do something called crop rotation. But in your own field, you can say you plant maize today, and maybe after flowering, you put legume in between. It's not a problem. You are just, your maize is heavy feeder of nitrogen, while your legume is fixing nitrogen. So in both ways, you are gaining. So it's a very good practice to do. It's just what you want according to your field. Nobody's stipulating you must do this. You understand? Any other question, please?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'm sure you understand what is this. This is urea. Yeah. And this is NPK. As you can see, urea is having 46N, just nitrogen. Why this one is combination of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm cutting in. He made a statement now that this is having 46 something of N. What we see in Tamari, Lori Shaka fertilizer has a different interpretation from what actually is. They are asking us to put on the soil. What we see on the fertilizer stack
is quantified in percentage.
Yeah. And maybe while he was talking, he probably must have made mention that the application rate of say maybe N
Would be 60, 60, 60, or 60, 90, 60, 60. I don't know which one he said. At least I know he must have probably said you shouldn't go below 60 for N. And the reason why probably we can say something like that is because we know fertilizer is very expensive. So even at IITA, we have taken that into consideration such that we bred varieties, any variety coming from IITA, any variety that probably you hear the seed produce, the seed company says, variety IITA, leleyi. What we have done into them is we have bred the capability to do well under low nitrogen condition.
Okay.
So if our variety goes out there and you give the variety 60 kilogram of nitrogen as against the 90 kilogram or 120 kilogram that a lot of people talk about, our varieties will still do well.
Yeah.
They will do well. So now, if this is written 46, this is what you're going to see on the sack. 46, 0, 0. This one is the percentage of nitrogen, 0% of phosphorus, 0% of potassium, meaning that this fertilizer has only nitrogen alone. The question now is, how much of nitrogen does this fertilizer have? If I buy a bag of it, a bag of fertilizer weighs 50 kg. Tabara, odidi àpò kan 50 kg ni. So taba convert, upon doing the conversion of the 46%, ó máa fún wa ní 23 kg. So odidi àpò kan yẹn bó ṣe ga tó yẹn tó jẹ́ 50 kg yẹn, just 23 kg of nitrogen ló wà ńbẹ̀. Gbogbo ohun tó kù ńbẹ̀, the rest of what is there are just what we call buffer, or what we call mi fẹ́ lo language bá mi lo kan filler, we call bonding agents. Àwọn chemical tí wọ́n fi so papọ̀ mọ́ra wọn so that they don't, lose up. So the rest of the 54% or so to make up 100% are just the bonding agents. So in that 50 kg, what we have there as quantity nitrogen is 23 kg. So if somebody says, we want you to apply, for example, 90, 60, 60. So when they give us the formula 90, 60, 60, to popular, láwùjọ, in terms of one, apply 90 kg of nitrogen, 60 kg of phosphorus, 60 kg of potassium. Now, tí n bá fẹ́ wo báwo ni mo ṣe fẹ́ meet up. If someone can do or conduct soil analysis, which is what we do here. It's not everybody that can do that because sometimes it is expensive. However, if you have the privilege to conduct soil analysis, you yourself will know before going to plant, what does my soil need for the maize to grow? Some of us, our soils may not have problem with potassium or phosphorus. The soil probably may just be lacking in nitrogen. If we have this basal information, I can just kick away this. I don't need it. I'll just go with this alone. And I will use less quantity of bag. Because if one bag is having 23 kg, how many do I need to apply to just get 90? Maybe 4 bags for 1 hectare. But the luxury of the soil analysis may not be, possible for everybody. So in order not to take that chance.
We have a lab for soil analysis.
Good. Fine. So if it's possible.
1 year.
So the point.
So, White House.
So if in order not to take that chances, so that's why if we do not have that information ahead of time, then we do tell them, okay, don't take that chances that your soil is okay. Why not give the maize what the maize need? It means Your soil is just intact. Your soil is just serving the function of anchorage, holding the plant and helping the plant to keep the nutrients. So if I'm going with this guy here, this guy, this guy is said to have 15, 15, 15. We have several versions of this guy outside. Yes, you could see 25, 10, 10. So I've seen several variations of this guy. But I always say something that if you're going for NPK, which is the standard, in a scenario where you don't have prior information about your soil nutrient capacity. So if I just want to plant and I don't have the luxury of sending soil samples or going through that rigor, I'll just say, okay, fine. Àgbàdo la fẹ́ gbìn. Okay. Ṣáàtì lágbàdo yẹn àti rí. Níbo lẹ ti rà? Wọ́n lágbàdo IITA ni. À ń lọ gbìn kó lọ́la o. Ẹ sọ fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn kí wọ́n ready o. So we go to the field, we plant tomorrow. Àwa dẹ̀ ti gbìn kó tán. Okay. A ti gbìn kó àti gbìn kó tán lé ní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀. After a week, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ apply fertilizer. That is if we don't have the luxury of applying immediately while planting. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù ọ̀sẹ̀ kan, àbọ̀sọ̀ péjú ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ fi fertilizers. Àwa dóko. On arrival to the field, we want to apply. We don't have the information on what is on the soil, in the soil. So we just have to go with this guy first. We cannot go with this guy. We go with this based on the amount of, what we are targeting. If our interest is 60, 60, 60, meaning 60 kilogram of nitrogen, 60 kilogram of phosphorus as well as potassium, this guy alone can do the job. Why? Because it is a balanced fertilizer. The same amount of nitrogen, Tony, is the same amount of phosphorus, is the same amount of potassium. The question now is, what is the real quantity in kg of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium? Because what they quote on the sack is in percentage. So this guy has 45% of the three the three elements put together. 55 are just bonding agents. And each of the elements is having just 7.5 kg. Ìdí nìyẹn tó ṣe máa ń sọ wípé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ apply ilé, wọ́n máa sọ pé ẹ ra báàgì mẹ́jọ fún 1 hectare. Ẹlòmíì lè ní ẹ ra báàgì mẹ́wàá fún 1 hectare. Torí tẹ́ bá ra báàgì mẹ́jọ, if you buy 8 bags, every bag has 7.5 kilograms of nitrogen. So you multiply 7.5 kilograms by the 8 bags that you have bought. Then that will now give you 60 kilograms of nitrogen. So if I apply 8 bags of this guy on 1 hectare, I will achieve 60, 60, 60. Iṣẹ́ wà tá à ń ṣe.
So meaning from the 50 kg, the original
The real component, the real kilogram of each element. Kilogram.
It's also 23 kg.
That is for you, for urea.
Here you said 7.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Okay, if you are going by the three of them put together, 7.5 times 3.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah.
I'm a yearly element depreciate nutrients.
Ben, sir. No. Rather, sir. If I do a soil test this year, does not mean that next year, if I want to plant, I have to do another soil test. The soil test I've done this year, are you getting me, sir? It's just for me to have an idea. Then when I go in with my nutrients, I can maintain that soil without, going for another test for another maybe 2 cropping seasons.
That's 2 years.
If I'm just planting, for example, say maize, so I don't have to be going every year cropping season to go and be doing soil tests. That would be too expensive for us to maintain.
Sir,
Yes, boss.
there are liquid fertilizers.
Now we are getting there.
And some people suggest use manure, soak them in water. After a while,
After the dissolves, okay.
this is what are your professional advice?
Good. Thank you very much on this. I've come across this question on several occasions. I love, organic manures, or what do we call them, poultry manure and everything. We don't, talk against it. However, the question we should ask ourselves is, I'm going for poultry dung or poultry manure, pig dung or cow dung. The first thing you have to do is to know exactly what is the quantity of the nutrients that your crop needs first. For this, we just analyzed because we know the information that is written. So if you go to any lab and give them this, the same thing we just told you is what they will come back and give to you. So before we start using any of these, organic products like poultry dung or cow dung, they vary in their content of nitrogen. Several studies will come and tell you, when we analyzed poultry dung, cow dung, pig waste, and everything, these are the variabilities of nitrogen or phosphorus or potassium. But trust me, none of them has the measurable level in terms of kg with the non-organic sources at the same quantity level. Meaning that if I take 50 kg of poultry manure or cow dung, the amount of nitrogen I'll get in there is not comparable to what I will get from urea. And that is why, if you have seen several studies, I have seen several studies, written several articles on this, colleagues, the recommendation they would give for cow dung or poultry dung, I will ask myself, my friend, come. How are we sure we can get this quantity? They can say, for us to have a comparable performance with the non-organic, maybe we should be having about 1.2 tons of poultry dung, 800 kilograms of cow dung, or maybe 1,500 kilograms. Then I would say, where are we going to get 1,500 kilograms? Will I go to Abattoir and be saying that all the cow dung, be bringing them here? That's quite weighty. It's quite heavy. So the issue we have here is the issue of quantity requirements to give us exactly the same or similar results like some of these guys. Is the quantity requirement.
In percentage for maize, how many
Analyze all.
is just how many percentage of urea do we need? Phosphorus
Do you need for maize
maize
production?
For production,
Yes.
you want optimal yield. Optimal yield, go for the minimum you can go for 90-60-60. If you've got enough capacity, 120-60-60. Thank you.
Doctor,
Yes, sir. Let's just round up with the fertilizer application so that we can go back and get our lunch. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Fly and
Yes. Oh, yeah. Then continue.
No, all things being
What
equal.
now is that as we plant now, you
Yes.
can apply fertilizer also.
Yes. I believe we planted here and here.
Yes.
We can just apply here and here. That's just the idea. There's nothing to. So actually, it's advisable you put on glove because this is our chemicals.
Of course.
I don't have that now. This guy isn't bring.
You can use the bottom of this.
But I think I saw a bottle of the cover.
Okay.
Adequately, this should give us 30 grams
Okay.
per plant. No, we're talking about having as much as 60 kg for your 1 hectare. This should give you 30 grams of this fertilizer each per plant. So this is fine. This is fine. So to apply this, like I said, don't apply where you actually planted. Just side placement. Then cover. Remember I said when we cover, we reduce the volatility of the nitrogen we are using. So in this way, it stays inside. In as much as in 3 days, this thing starts growing, the root starts moving, this will receive water, the water moves to this place. It's as easy as that. So that's how we apply across board. Then, okay, peradventure, you feel, okay, covering this way. After applying, you can actually even apply very close to where you want to weed. When you apply this time around, the next thing is you're weeding. You just weed and cover it. So it can go simultaneously. So just to save cost of you're applying today, you're weeding another time, just do everything at the same time. You are good to go. But let's, as a take home, let us make sure seed per hole is the main thing. You don't need to pour 5 seeds in one hole. No, at most 2, at least 1. We are safe that way. Any other question? Okay. So let us move. Okay. Oh, please, thank you. Hello, Iwe. Ah, okay. Oh, I'm still talking.
Yes, it's okay.
No, you can pick it up.
Need to divide this into them so that they can hold it.
Out of frame. Okay, so what's your overall perspective of today's training?
Overall for today's training, good. I would say 99%.
Okay, so what part of the training? Kí ni ìpele tẹ́ fẹ́ràn jù?
Apart from the site selection,